What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here, and I am very excited today to make this video. I've been really excited to make a ton of videos recently. Like, I really feel like this is like a boom period for the channel, for the content, for a lot of things that are going on. And I know I keep saying that in a lot of videos, but just thank you guys, and thank, I guess, the LCS and LEC for having so much crazy stuff going on. But today we actually have a rumor, potential roster moves to discuss, which, that's like the backbone of my channel. That's probably why 90 to maybe even more percent of you guys even know who I am, even know that this channel exists, why I even am able to do any of this in the first place. So that is so exciting. That is my favorite thing to talk about, roster theory, crafting, moves, rumors, all that stuff, getting the rumor mill going. And it's the first week of March, and we already have a potentially very spicy roster rumor going on, and there is plenty more in the future because there's so many good free agents out there right now. Like, we all know there's Niski, there's Jensen, there's Ignar, there's Sven Skaren. I don't know. There's just so many good names. I know I'm missing people in that bunch as well. But today we're going to be talking about one of those specifically that might be getting a job here soon, potentially. I don't know. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton, and help us run those numbers up by clicking that subscribe button really quick. That would be absolutely awesome. Hey, we hit 10,000 a couple weeks ago. We're doing pretty good. We're getting close to like 10,100, but hey, 15, 20, 100,000, those are our goals. With that being said, let's get right into this one. So this is all about Jensen. He is, at least on the LCS side of things, I think kind of the most shocking one. Yes, some people do think Niski should be somewhere between the LCS and LEC. For other mid laners, Jizuke, some people think, really deserves a spot at this point. But Jensen has been the first or second best mid laner in the LCS, at least in the conversation. Obviously things have changed once you start throwing in like Perks, Power Vivo, all these guys, but especially over the course of like the last 5 or 6 years, Jensen has been a top 2 mid laner in the LCS. And he wasn't that great in the regular season last year, but he was also coming off an amazing Worlds performance. He played maybe the best League of Legends of his career at the 2021 World Championships. Yes, TL still didn't end up getting out of groups, but Jensen played really well, and so many people were impressed with him. I really do believe he played his performance was one of the better mid lane performances at the entire tournament. He performed as one of the better mid laners in the entire world. Now, that is to say, he then did not have a job the very next split in the LCS to start that season. Obviously, Bjergsen replaces him. He has a huge buyout. Nobody buys him out. Nobody signs him. Then he gets released. Now he doesn't have a buyout. Now it's cheaper to sign him. He was almost going to roll swap to AD carry. That didn't work out. Yada, whatever. That gets us to where we are today, where Kobe, Esports Kobe, Sam Hartman Kensler, tweeted out this: "All right, I'll bet anything Jensen comes back within a month. Any takers? Yo, Travis Gafford, wanna I bet a cat on it once and for all?" Travis then responds, "Wait, but aren't I the reason you think he's coming back within a month?" Now, maybe this is some kind of inside joke. Maybe this is some kind of meme. I don't think so. Obviously, we know Travis is extremely connected. He has some of the best sources, some of the best scoops around. We know he also likes putting those things out. We also know he likes putting those things out in maybe a not super direct way. He made his predictions video last year, talking about, hey, these aren't rumors, these are just predictions, I'm predicting things. And I think he was obviously putting stuff out there. He's been putting out a lot of stories into the offseason and even into the regular season, and I think this is him again, putting out a Jensen rumor, putting out that he's hearing some things about Jensen behind the scene. And obviously Kobe, maybe he's just hearing it from Travis. He said, "Wait, aren't I the only reason you think he's coming back within a month?" And then Kobe says only 33%. So hey, there's at least 2 other people and 2 other sources, at least according to Kobe, that say Jensen might be coming back. Maybe, I don't know. The whole thing's kind of weird because, one, just for Jensen to come back wouldn't be unbelievable. But where? And obviously Kobe says, Jensen's going to come back within a month. I assume he then means to the LCS. I assume that doesn't mean the LEC. Kobe's one tweeting about it, saying he's coming back. I also wanted to check if Jensen liked this tweet or not. Yeah, Jensen hasn't liked the tweet. So that was just, I didn't really expect him to, because that'd be way too obvious and stuff. But Kobe says he's going to come back within the next month. So I take a look at the LCS schedule, and I believe the last regular season games are March 27th. This was tweeted out on March 3rd. So a month from then would get us to April 3rd. That is literally, like the week, I don't know if it's a weekend, it's a Sunday. So that's literally the weekend that LCS playoffs starts, I believe. So this is not only Kobe predicting that Jensen will be back, this is Kobe predicting that Jensen is going to be back sometime during the spring regular season. This isn't him predicting Jensen joining a team in between spring and summer like many people have predicted and many people think is probably the most likely outcome at this point, because Jensen is just too good to be sitting on the sidelines. Not only is he good enough to be on some team, but having him in the league would make everyone else better. Getting to scrim, practice, play against him all the time would make North America better, would make every mid laner in North America better, would make every team in North America better. And it is an absolute travesty and an absolute joke and a shame that this is how the system is set up to where our best players are not in the LCS. Because not only is Jensen a great player, but he's a pretty popular player too. He's not like Double Lift, he's not Bjergsen, but that next tier. And, at a time where the LCS is like a joke internationally or whatever, but also has viewership kind of declining, we need our best players. We need our best talent for viewership and for results and performances and all this stuff. So again, not having Jensen in the league because teams won't pay him enough or teams can't find him a spot or teams want to go young, develop, whatever, that's weird because he's literally coming off the best performance of his career and it would help the league in so many ways. So it's really a fault in the system. But then I start looking into okay, if say Jensen's going to come back, where would he go? Team Liquid's where he just came from. He's not going to Team Liquid. He's not replacing Bjergsen. Cloud9, that's where he's been at before. Yes, they didn't end on the best of terms, but I think they would be willing to bring him back, but I don't think he's going to Cloud9. Fudge is their franchise player. They're putting a ton of resources and everything into Fudge. If they were going to bring him in, maybe Fudge could go to top lane, but Summit is a beast right now. I really think Summit is potentially the best player in the LCS, maybe, or has that potential at least to be a guy who can go toe-to-toe with some great top laners internationally. I don't think Cloud9 Jensen makes any sense right now. FlyQuest, I don't know if Jensen would even go to FlyQuest. Yes, they started out the season kind of hot. They're cooling off. Would Jensen be an upgrade over Tukoi? Yes. But is FlyQuest going to give up on Tukoi a couple weeks into their very first split? I don't think so. I don't even know if FlyQuest has the money for Jensen. I don't know if Jensen would go there. I think that's highly unlikely. 100 Thieves is actually kind of interesting. They are currently the defending LCS champions, yes. But obviously they didn't end up, doing anything at Worlds. Also, I still say that their LCS championship has to have an asterisk by it. It came from the losers bracket. Many playoffs in LCS history are only single elimination, and they beat TL. And TL had a single series loss, and 100 Thieves had a single series loss, but now 100 Thieves is the champions. To me, the whole thing is still super, super weird. I'm going to die on that hill. I don't care. Yes, 100 Thieves did win the championship, but were they, clearly the best team in the LCS last year? No. Were they... I don't know. They went to Worlds and did pretty good, but they also, had 2 free wins in their group as well. It's so much... The narrative of 100 Thieves last season, I think their 2021 performance is going to be overrated in the history of things. But Abadage came in. He was obviously an upgrade over Ryoma and, the whole 100 Thieves mid lane situation. And yes, he helped this team go to Worlds. They did well at Worlds. They won the title. They did a lot of great things. But man, Abadage has not been that amazing, coming in this season so far, at least in 2021. Now, do I think 100 Thieves would abandon Abadage a couple weeks into the spring split after they just won a title, after they just went 3-3 at Worlds? I don't think that makes much sense. I do think Jensen is an upgrade over Abadage. I think he does make this team better domestically, internationally, all over the place. I think he's had a better career than Abadage. I think he's coming off a better Worlds performance than Abadage. I think Jensen is better than Abadage, period. Jensen is also a resident, which then, maybe allows 100 Thieves to be able to make some other moves. Who knows? I think 100 Thieves could make sense. I think it's highly unlikely, but it could make sense. I think it would be an upgrade. I think it would be better, but I don't know if 100 Thieves would have the balls to make that move, and I think they would face some backlash if they did it. Golden Guardians, I think Ablaze Olive has been pretty decent. I don't think Golden Guardians would even do this. I don't know if Jensen would even go to Golden Guardians. Evil Geniuses, obviously Jensen would have went to this team, and this team would be really, really fun and exciting and interesting with Jensen on it. But this team's building for the future. They have Inspired. They have, obviously, Jojo Pune. They have Danny. They have a lot of young guys. They're building for the future. They could have had Jensen and DL if they wanted. They didn't. They're not going to do it. Dignitas. This team looked a little bit stronger during the lock-in tournament early season. And I was like, maybe I could see Jensen going here. Maybe, like, if they are actually like a top 3 or 4 team, if River is just an absolute monster and he's going to dominate the LCS. Obviously, that's not true. So he's not going to Dignitas. He's not going to Immortals. He's not going to CLG. TSM makes the most sense. It just does. And that's what everyone's saying. I put out a poll, like, do you think he's going TSM, 100 Thieves, LEC? Like, TSM was first place in my poll by a lot. And then LEC was actually second, which I think there's some LEC teams that would make sense, like Mad Lions. I think makes a ton of sense for Jensen, but I don't see him going back to Europe. I see him staying in the United States. And then 100 Thieves was a close third, but TSM was by far first. But I think it's because most people see that this import situation, this import plan that I've been telling you guys was going to be a disaster for quite some time. I think everyone's seeing it's being a disaster. And it makes no sense for TSM to be losing their fan base, to be pissing off their players, potentially about to lose Spica when they just got this FTX money and there's a bunch of great players sitting around. Use your academy team to develop for the future. Use your main team to try and go do something. Jensen makes your team better, makes your team more relevant, makes your team more popular. He's a resident. You can then import somewhere else. If you think Kaido is that good, send him back down to academy. If he doesn't want to do that, okay, go get somebody that does and develop some players. You have a 10th place LCS team and you have a 10th place academy team. You're not developing anyone. You're doing a bunch of stupid stuff. Jensen and there's other free agents out there right now as well that could help your team out. And having a resident mid laner is so valuable. And not only is there a resident mid laner who's a free agent, there's one of the best players in LCS history who is also a resident, who is also a free agent. And you're not a team that is low on money. And you just spent all this money on Shenny and Kaido, who are both very clearly not working out. Now, it still doesn't make sense to me because I don't think TSM is ready, and I don't think Reggie's ego will allow him to give up on this thing. You know, Reggie and all of TSM have spent the whole offseason telling us how this master plan is going to work, how, you know, the DL, Jensen, Vulcan lineup, how that lineup sucked. They weren't going to do anything domestically or internationally, so we're building for the future, and this is how we're going to be good in 3 years. So I don't think TSM's going to give that up yet. You know Reggie's an egomaniac. You know he's not just going to do that, and it would be so expensive. You know, there's that sunk cost fallacy of, already having invested all this money into Shenny and Kaido. You got to give him more time. You got to let him play it out, is what I think they're thinking. I would have gone with Jensen then. I still would go with Jensen to this day. But yeah, I mean, if Kobe says he's coming back within the month, if he says he's coming back during spring regular season, where is he going to go? That's my question to you. I have no idea. I think TSM by far makes the most sense. I think 100 Thieves by far makes the second most sense. And other than that, I don't think there's a single team in the LCS that even makes sense. And if Jensen ends up on any of the other teams, I'm going to be pretty shocked. But man, we need this guy back in the league. I'm happy and excited to start hearing some of these rumors. Hopefully we get more information, or hopefully we just get the real news sometime soon. I mean, a month is honestly not that long to wait. I can be patient. I can wait. We'll see what happens. But yeah. There's rumors out there. The rumor mill's heating up. Jensen may be coming back to the LCS. And to me, that's very exciting. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Somebody drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know where you think Jensen is going to end up. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date, and all my latest content. Hope we catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.